Kevin McCullough.
How quickly does that get fixed? And how quickly can we start exporting and become a net producer of energy, making money and helping our allies?
I think it's going to take 6 months to a year. You mentioned the Keystone Pipeline, which I think most of your viewers understand was, and remember that was Biden's first act of his presidency. I mean, it's, to talk about setting a tone, killing a major, energy infrastructure project here in the USA was almost unpatriotic. And so unfortunately, the people who are building the Keystone, they're out of the game now. So you have to start all over again. You know what I'm saying, Kevin? So that project will take a long time. But we need we need pipelines. We need LNG terminals. We need refineries. We need to be able to have leases, as you just mentioned, so that we can lease federal lands. And I'm not talking about Yosemite or Yellowstone. I'm talking about non-environmentally sensitive lands. We have $40 trillion of energy resources. $40 trillion.
It's crazy how much energy we actually have, and the degree that the Biden team was willing to cripple us, literally, as a nation,
outrageous,
by refusing to use our own resources for our own good. And on top of that, I don't know if it's just like petty jealousy or whatever, but Trump was an exporter of American energy, and that brought about greater global stability. Talk about how our economic soundness leads to greater safety across the world.
Well, we are the nation that exports peace and prosperity. I think Trump is going to have a peace treaty in Ukraine in 6 months. I really do. I think we're going to produce more energy here. That hurts the Russian war machine. We're going to tell Zelensky, you go to the negotiating table, or else we're not going to write you another big fat check. And I think they'll negotiate something to stop the terrible killing in that region. But energy is the master resource. And we've learned from the last 40 or 50 years that whatever country or region of the world controls the most energy has the geopolitical power. That's why the Middle East had so much power in the 70s and 80s and 90s. Well, guess what? The three of the countries with the most energy are Canada, Mexico, the United States. So we can make North America the hub of world energy rather than, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Russia, the countries that are our enemies. So my point is, this is not just an economic issue. It is, but it's also a national security issue. And our producing more energy will make the world a safer place.
I have some friends in the energy space, and they really were high on Trump's nominees, both at Treasury and the Energy Department. Can you tell me your thoughts on the personnel that he's picked this go around? My
favorite picks, and he's made a lot of really good picks, but I'm an economist, so I pay attention to the ones related to the economy. I think Chris Wright, who is going to be the new energy secretary, is amazing. He agrees with everything you and I have been saying. He called his energy company Liberty Energy, so that should tell you where
tells you something.
And then you've got the former governor of North Dakota, Doug
Burgum.
Burgum, fantastic. And he's going to allow not just more energy, but also more mineral. We have huge mineral resources we should be using. And then, of course, Scott Bessent, financial wizard. I think he'll be an absolutely fantastic Treasury Secretary. So those three I'm really high on.
Economically speaking, if we were to acquire Greenland, it's my understanding that there are spacious energy supplies and mineral supplies there. And if we get the Panama Canal back under control, we have a greater degree of economic fortitude, because we won't be vulnerable to being shut down in terms of being able to, transgress the Atlantic to the Pacific, et cetera. It's the same thing in the Middle East with the Red Sea. We've got to keep those two pathways open for our own good. I think a lot of people think Trump's just joking about this stuff, but these are really sound policy ideas.
Well, Trump, one thing I've learned, and by the way, I'm not an expert on Greenland or the Panama Canal, so I'll let people make their own decisions about that. But we'll say this, that having, followed him and had the privilege of advising him over the years, I honestly believe two things about Trump. Number one, I've never met anyone who has more energy than Donald Trump. And he's, what, mid-70s or late? I don't even know how old he is, but
he laps me, I'm telling you.
Oh, my God, he runs circles around me, and I'm younger than he is. So he is, going to be on the job, unlike our current president. He's going to be on the job 20 hours a day. The second thing I would say about him, which is apropos to your question, He is the single best negotiator I've ever met in my life. The guy is a master negotiator. What's his book, Kevin? The Art of the Deal.
Art of the Deal. Trouble. All right, Stephen Moore, thank you for checking in. Let's do this again as we have some policies and some laws passed that are going to help. But thank you for your insights on the Trump economic miracle and the plan to unleash prosperity. Again, that's his newest book, friends. Get it, read it, know it. Steve Moore, as always, thank you so much.
Great to be with you, Kevin. Happy New Year. And it's going to be 2025 year is going to be a blockbuster year.
I think it is for sure. All right. From Times Square, it's That
Stick
Kevin
around
Show.
for more of That Kevin. Next, That Kevin Show with Kevin McCullough.